I want to welcome everybody for joining me here today, June 30th, for the Raising Your Quantum Vibe Summit. And my name is Andrea Ruth, and I'm going to be your host today for this video summit. And today, joining us is Joseph Ghabi. And Joseph, hello. Welcome to the summit.
Hello, Andrea. Thank you for having me on your summit. It's exciting to be with you.
Oh, I'm really excited about having you here. And, when I found out, another thing is that you're from Canada. I'm part Canuck on my mom's side. So we have something in common for sure.
That's good.
That's, the numerology part of this is, synchronicity. So just to give you some information about Joseph, he's an expert numerologist. He's a healer. He's a spiritual leader. He speaks on topics ranging from relationships, law of attraction, life purpose. He's very well known for his expertise in finding the authentic peace with your past. And he's a #1 best-selling author. He hosts his own radio show. He's earned over 30 degrees, certificates, diplomas, anything ranging from engineering and computer programming to metaphysics and psychosomatic therapy. His latest book is The Blueprint of Your Soul. And today, what we're going to be discussing is a little bit from that book. So, Joseph, welcome.
Thank you, Andrea, and thank you for having me again with you. It's so exciting, and it's so exciting for me to always speak about numerology because it is something we all live it anyway, because it's all vibration, and it's all vibration. Look, I started my career in the beginning as an electrical engineer, and I did a master in computer science. And 3 months into that, I quit. Now, I said that's not for me. The reason, later when I moved from New York City to Montreal in Canada, I got introduced to a book in numerology. Through that book, I started looking into it. Then I went within myself and I said, I must have done that in a past lifetime. And I did. Then I started downloading my information and I went to start testing the vibrations. So I went into testing it. Now, I realized later on that what did I gain from the electrical engineering? I learned more about energy, vibration, and frequency, and we used to measure them. So I turned those into metaphysical interpretation from a metaphysical, So, and from there, from the computer science, I learned about programming and deprogramming. And this is what I use in my healing work.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I took the background of the scientific background and let's merge it with the metaphysical background that I start to get involved with. And I start working with my own guidance and I have my own counsels. And then we start working from that perspective. And that's how the whole thing started, So Nikola Tesla, I believe in everything he does because he tells you if you want to understand the universe, you need to understand energy, vibration, and frequency.
Absolutely.
And if you don't have those, it doesn't matter. And the beauty of it, you can use anything you want from the energy, vibration, or frequency in anything you do.
That's right.
In anything you do. It doesn't discriminate anybody. So.
Yeah, everything has a frequency. Thoughts have frequencies.
Yes.
Our conversation that we're having right now, it has a frequency.
And that frequency can be either negative or positive. And we have the choice to control whatever we want to control. So if I keep saying to myself, I'm stupid, I'm stupid, I'm stupid, at one point the universe is going to send you the experience to let you understand, yes, you are stupid. This is what you want here in front of your face. Now, suddenly I woke up in one night and I said, no, I'm successful. I started saying, I'm successful, I'm successful. Then the universe said, okay, that's what you want. Take what you want. It's going to reflect according to the energy we keep proposing every day in our thought, in our mind, and the way we speak. And that's where we need to be conscious of. Otherwise, we can get lost into the traffic of many things in our lives, and we get lost in life directions.
So you're here to guide people with your numerology on the best path to take.
The best path that in my 25 years that I learned through applying, through testing the vibrations, through understanding, is first to understand ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because many times when you came into this lifetime, you didn't come with an instruction manual. You didn't have an instruction manual with you for your parents to follow it, you know.
It would have been nice.
It would have been nice, but it didn't happen. So because you didn't have an instruction manual, now everybody from your family, consciously or unconsciously, they start proposing and feeding in your head who you are.
Right.
Really? Doesn't mean that's who you are. Sometimes you're going according to their image about themselves, not about you. And that's very crucial and very essential for everybody to start understanding themselves. And the best, if somebody can start doing it from age 19, 20, because they're going to get out from home, they're going to start on their own journey, get to know who you are, not what you've been told who you are, because it's completely different.
Exactly. I believe that. And, you know, everybody has their own vibrational frequency. So their frequency is not necessarily going to match up with the frequency that's being projected on them. Mm-hmm. Or, like, for instance, society tells us what we should and shouldn't do. A family tells us what we should and shouldn't do. How, you know, what career to go into. And, you know, what I have found as a holistic practitioner myself is, you know, people choose the wrong thing to go into based upon somebody else's projection on who they should be.
Big time.
Mm-hmm.
Big time. Because this is why we need to start getting to know ourselves. The moment we get to know ourselves, now, when we came to a family, we came because we signed an agreement with them. We came to that family. They didn't come to us. So we attracted that family because they're supposed to help us to understand something that we need to understand about ourselves. So if I want to learn more about forgiveness, I chose a father or a mother that's going to give me some experience that's going to make me go for 100% forgiveness, if that's what they're learning for me. We picked every experience we have for a specific feeling because we need to use it. Now, when we're going to go to our destiny, there's no destination.
Okay.
If somebody thinks, I am a healer, or I am an engineer, or I am a dentist, that's your destiny? Hello, wake up. That's a label.
Right.
That's a label. Your destiny is based on what you learned through your childhood. But most of us try to avoid those because we need to get the feeling. It's the feeling that takes us to the purpose of the soul itself is the feeling that takes us there. It's not what we labeled ourselves as to be. So many people, they start taking many different stuff, more stuff into what they can offer, but that's their label. Mm-hmm. So if I came here to work in Burger King or McDonald's,
okay,
all my life, seriously, is that what the soul is coming for?
And that's the question, is exactly how do we determine, based upon numerology, on your expertise, how do we determine what is our path, or how many paths do we have?
Look, when I do the calculation of the chart, it's 3 pages. Calculation. I do it by hand usually. I don't use computer system. I don't use all of this stuff. So when you have the whole picture in front of you, you start understanding the dynamic of the chart. It's not one number determines who Andrea is.
Okay.
You're not based on one number. You're based on a combo of different pieces of a puzzle to make the the grander vision and purpose for the soul to live under the name Andrea today.
Okay.
So you're not only one number. So some people will tell you, oh, I am a 5. Okay, so what does it mean? I'm a 5. Where's that 5? Is it in your destiny? Is it in your name? Is it in your one of your core in the chart? Where is that 5? It makes a big difference. And is that 5? Is it working on a frequency negative, or is it working on a frequency positive? Do you have any karma with the 5, or you don't have a karma with the 5? You have a challenge with the 5, or you don't have a challenge with the 5. So it makes the whole personality of you totally different. So when somebody say I am one number, it doesn't mean they are that person.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean they are that person. One number means nothing at all. So we need to see the whole flux of the core of the chart. How is it flying? For 25 years, doing thousands of charts, I haven't seen 2 charts the same.
That's incredible.
I haven't. It's unbelievable how the soul decided to play with the chart and how it takes you from one, and you see the continuous flow of the energy to get you where you need to be.
Well, let me ask you, because in your book you have a section on soul path, I guess 9, what is it? The
9-year cycle? Yeah.
Yes.
So the 9 years, by the way, this is my book for you to see. I don't know if you have a copy of that. And the 9-year cycle basically is, we work in life in a 9-year cycle. If you don't decide to learn your experiences in the first 9 years, then you're going to take them with you to the next 9 years.
Okay. And how does that work?
How does that work? So in the first 9 years, you went into living into your family and you had some bad experiences because they decide you agreed with them on a soul level to provide you those experiences. Now, between age 1 to 9, really, can we adjust and understand what happened to us at that time? No, most of the time, no. And even if we went to therapists, we don't get nothing. So those experiences, now we're going to take them with us to the next 9-year cycle in our chart. Now, are we going to deal with them? Sometimes, most of the time, no, and we're going to have even more experiences because they start piling on each other because it's the feelings. Like if you had, for example, you had an experience with mom, when you came one day at age of 6, 7 with your friends home, and she starts shouting at you in front of your friends for no reason, for nothing. Now, maybe you didn't do your bedroom or whatever it was. It's a silly thing. But it's not about what mom did as the problem, it's how she made you feel.
Okay.
Now, that feeling, if you haven't dealt with it, is going to go for the next cycle.
Oh, that's how that works. Okay.
And that, now we are into 2-year cycles of 9 years. So the cycle is a 9-year. Now, from the second year cycle, if we still don't learn about those feelings, because on those feelings that we have here, when we take them to the next cycle, now they're going to accumulate into more feelings.
That can get kind of crazy if you haven't dealt with those feelings.
If you haven't dealt, and this is why I keep saying, I keep attracting similar experiences in my life. Eventually, they're saying, I keep attracting similar feelings in my life.
Okay.
It's not the experiences they're attracting the feelings. How somebody made you feel the first time is how your boyfriend made you feel at 19, 20.
That's the law of attraction.
That's the law of attraction. Because the law of attraction works both ways, in the negative and the positive the same way. So because of that, we have to start looking into it from a totally different perspective and say, what exactly I want. I need to start going back to the experiences and clear up all of these feelings. Because if you don't understand this feeling, because you're coming here for those feelings.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't understand those feelings, what you're going to keep expecting? You're going to keep repeating the same cycles over and over. And then you end up at 60 and you say, what have I done in my life? Okay, I'm very successful in what I do, but I'm not happy.
Well, let me ask you, how do you help your clients uncover those feelings?
We have to go back into the basic. We're going to go say, you signed agreement, because I work a lot with the soul agreement. Now, with the soul agreement, you have an agreement with mom and dad, and these are the biggest agreement. Now, if you've been adopted, you've been whatever happened with you, that you have additional agreements.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all count. Now, because you're coming to learn about something about abandonment, maybe. So you have to have those experiences. So they're coming all under the feeling what you want to learn about yourself. Now, we go back into that point and we start looking to the feeling. And the way I do it in one of my programs, I just started it recently, last week I started it. It's called Soul to Soul Connection Masterclass. And in the Soul to Soul Connection, in the first week, we were looking into the feeling of shame, which is on David Hawkins' map of consciousness. It's the lower vibration at 20 frequency,
mm-hmm.
So which is the lowest, and we're supposed to be at 200 to be floating,
right?
So we go to that feeling. When we get into the inner child that experience that feeling, because we're gonna do it through that inner child, then we're gonna ask the inner child, who provided you that feeling, mom or dad? Mom. Good. So we're gonna invite mom to be with us into that meditation, and then we're gonna bring every single person until today who provided us the same feeling, because we're gonna take them all at the same time.
Okay.
We're not gonna do one by one. We're gonna clear, because they're all on the same line.
Right.
They're all hanging under the feeling of shame. That's all it is. So we take them all, we snap the agreement with mom, we clear up everything, then that feeling already leaves the memory. Because remember, we're working with energy. Energy, it can clear up like this, because it has nothing attached to it. So when we remove what is holding us, then it clear up the whole thing, and then we take somebody from that, and then at the end of the program, I go for 9 weeks. Is this program? It doesn't take more than that. For 9 weeks, then we clear up all the feelings and emotion with mom and dad, and whoever gave you your worst nightmare experience. So it doesn't matter who that person is. So, and then we close the agreements.
Okay.
Because if an agreement is open, you're gonna keep experiencing it.
How do you close the agreements?
The same thing, through a meditation. We're gonna go through mom, through dad, in the same place where we sign up the agreement from a soul perspective,
mm-hmm.
and we're gonna close them. We say thank you very much, and we're gonna take responsibility of everything that took us where we are today.
Okay.
We're not gonna sit and blame mom, blame dad, being the victim, being this. We're gonna take responsibility, and we do that in every week we go along. Okay. To gain your freedom, you need to take responsibility.
Absolutely, I believe that. So we're running a little bit out of time here because our video.
My subject is too vast. I can speak for days.
Well, yes, I could speak with you 4 days on this because I find it fascinating, and I would love to possibly in the future at some point in time do that. But for the purpose of today's video, this is to give people an opportunity to see how numerology can raise their vibrational frequency to a higher quantum level. And that sounds exactly like what you're doing with your clients, is you're clearing their frequency so that they can raise up in consciousness and receive a better quality life.
Yes, the first thing you need to take out every frequency, every energy that is no longer serving you. Because you cannot keep driving yourself going high when you have a chain on your ankle on the bottom is keep holding you down.
Right.
So you need to take out the chain first. And that's where many of us, we don't do that. We try to suppress what happened before and hoping that we're gonna have a better future if we keep persisting. But you still have your feet hooked to that chain. It's not going away. So we need to release that first. Then see ourselves who we are and start emphasizing on our strengths. Now from the chart, we can see if this person is an old soul, is this person having mastery numbers, what mastery numbers, and this mastery number, what it's supposed to be, is this a visionary person? And then they start to understand deeper who they are, you know, and then they can start launching, but it's like you're putting a spotlight on your path going upward instead of having a dim light. Because if we keep running away from our shadows that we don't want to deal, we're going to bypass what happened. We came here for that.
Right. I agree.
You know, our life has two phases to it. The first phase is we're going to go towards the experiences we come for, and the second part is our purpose. But we all keep looking to the purpose that way, but eventually once we start dealing with our past, then both and the purpose going that way. This is why when I say what you think is you're doing is your purpose, is not. Because your purpose is going that direction, not this direction. But you need to bring back the old stuff. And that's where we all miss. You know, we keep going, then we find out how many millionaires, how many successful people today, they're still not happy.
Right. That's true.
You know, why is that? Because they are happy and joyful in one area, but miserable in another area. So that means they're not fulfilled. And fulfillment is based on the mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual harmony. We need to harmonize all our facets. We cannot skip one, bypass one just for the sake of bypassing because I don't want to deal with my life.
And I know that with the numerology, it sounds like that's what you're able to do is bring people into harmony. So what I'd like you to, just let people know here is that you've got a couple of free gifts that you're going to share with them. And there's a link that's going to be posted below so that they can, enjoy a little bit more of your guidance, and your website will be there for them to click into and give you a call and get in touch with you to get some more information on this. You want to
look at the gift of meditations that I use in my healing work. So they're going to have 5 meditations they can download, and a chapter from my book on the 9-year cycles. What's in the 9 years? Because there's year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So each year has a different aspect to it to us. And what cycle am I today? And the cycles are determined through your date of birth, your month and your day, and according to the year you're trying to find out. So they're going to have a chapter of that. So, and if somebody would like to have a conversation with me, I'll be happy to talk with them. I have on my site, if they go to the VIP, there's 30 minutes free sessions with me. They can fill it up. If they have something in particular they'd like to talk, I'll be happy to accommodate that.
Perfect. That's perfect. Thank you so much. Well, I want to thank you for being my guest here on this wonderful summit and helping people to raise their quantum vibe. So, Joseph, thank you so much.
My pleasure, Andrea. And look, life is simple. Let's stop complicating it because we all have a uniqueness in us. We all are here for a specific reason. Let's start living those reasons and shine in what we're here for in the first place.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for having me.